What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of the Mommyana podcast with Mommyana Elia. I hope everyone's enjoying their Sunday out there. Hope y'all getting some chill time in. But I'm really excited because I have my hairstylist here joining me today, and I just love her so much. She's really amazing. I'm gonna let her introduce herself though before we get into it. Go ahead and introduce yourself, girl.
Yes, I'm Nasia. Elia's hair beautician or hairstylist, whatever you want to call it. And yes, I'm excited. She is amazing. I love her as well. And I'm a little nervous, but
Don't be nervous.
just gonna let it flow.
Yeah, this is good. Tell the people where you're from.
I am from Denver, Colorado, born and raised. I'm a full-time beautician and self-employed. And I'm actually currently in school for business management and accounting so that I can be my own accountant. So, yeah.
She's doing it. And so Nasia is a single mom like me out here, killing the game as an entrepreneur and a single mom. So kudos to her. And she actually started my locks like 3 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember I wanted to get locks for a long time, but I was scared mainly because like people in my family were super against it. And at the time, for some reason, I really cared about like what they thought about me getting locks. But my mom was like, "Don't get them. Don't do that to your hair." My hair was always really long, but I really wanted them, and I'm happy
They
that I
look,
beat up and did it one day. But yeah, it's been good. And I was seeing because I remember when you first did them for me, like you were pregnant and you were like, "Well, I'm gonna be out for a couple of months. I'm about to have my baby." And I was like, "Oh
had a whole baby.
yes, a whole baby." But so I was like, I gotta find somebody else to do them. So I found this other chick, and she was hella rude. Like she did good work, but she was rude. She had I'm not gonna say no names, but if you know, you know. But she was rude. She was like super unprofessional, never on time. Like she would be on the phone the whole time. Like I feel like when I'm in your chair, you ain't never on the phone unless somebody calls to check in real quick. But we'd be conversing, you know.
No.
She would show up late and like do half jobs sometimes. I was like, I can't have this girl digging in my hair. So I think I
Giving a little ghetto.
yes, yes, super ghetto. She would be on FaceTime like with her girlfriend all the time, and they would be
Oh
arguing.
my
I'm like, this is super awkward. Okay,
Yes, and I'm glad you came back.
me too.
Yes, to the high
Yes,
vibrational realm.
right. Yes, I feel like every time I'm in her chair, we have like a therapy session. You know, sometimes I'm the therapist, sometimes she is, but it's always good
Yeah,
vibes.
it's a
Always.
reciprocated energy. So,
Yes, and I love it. I love it. And y'all see, she did this recent twist out on your girl. We tried
yeah,
to add some color. We did.
yes,
It stands
it
out a
looks
little bit more.
amazing.
Yes, I think I'm
Yes,
gonna go a little lighter next time, but I like
yes. Just a little bit to start off with, but we can always, enhance.
yes, I like it. Girl. New Year's style. But
Yeah.
okay, how was your weekend, girl? What did you do this week?
It's been really good. Honestly, just been doing homework all weekend. I was excited to do the little poetry thing, but I actually found out that Slam Nuba, the one that I have gone to in the past,
Mm-hmm.
they actually do every fourth Friday. So that's gonna be our new little thing.
Okay, yeah,
So
I'm down.
I'm
Yes,
down.
Asia's very talented. She does hair, makeup, nails. And then she be spitting
Okay.
rhymes.
Motivational speaker, who you want today?
Yes,
Accounting in the making.
yeah, she do it all.
Okay. So
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'm definitely down to check that out. My weekend was pretty cool too. What did I do? Oh, I went over to one of my college homegirls' house. We had a sleepover with our kids. She has a son that's
Oh,
like Honey Bun's age, and they love playing with each other. So I stayed the night over there with her, and then the next morning we woke up, did a little workout that I led, and then we went and got a
yeah.
pedicure because my toes, they was bad. They was looking a little trifling out here.
Oh, you
Um,
did your toes?
no, we went and got pedicures at this spot
Oh,
out in Southlands.
girl, I'm looking at mine. I'm like, I need to do mine.
Girl, mine was bad. Them hills was ashy. It was bad. I'm happy I went and got that done. I
Girl, let's not talk about mine, okay?
It's winter time. We ain't got
The
these.
polish is done for.
We don't get to talk about it. But cool. It sounds like you had a good weekend.
Yes, you as well, getting petties, having sleepovers. That sounds
Right.
exciting. I'm like, shoot, I need a girl's sleepover. But hey, that can come in the future.
So today's topic, we're going to be talking about being an entrepreneur, Mommyana. So I feel like more and more mothers are starting to become their own bosses these days and to deciding to take the entrepreneurial route. So big kudos to all of those Mommyanas because it takes a lot of courage and endurance and just a lot of hard work and persistence to be able to operate your own business and raise a child on top of that too, especially as a single mom. But I can imagine it being even more challenging being a single mom for sure. But so I work for the state and I have a couple little side hustles that I do from like substitute teaching. I'll substitute teach sometimes, or I'll do like different group fitness training sometimes, mainly in the summertime. But I'm not an entrepreneur. I'm definitely a 9 to 5 girl for
Hey,
sure.
that's a part-time entrepreneur. It still counts.
Right. So, and it's not, I'm not against that. I'm not opposed to open my own business. I'm just like, what would I do if I was a business owner? I don't know what
It takes a lot.
yeah.
Shoot. It really does. But sure, you could be a personal trainer. You look good, girl. What you
Right.
mean?
We'll see. We'll see what God
People
has
be
to
charging
do.
at 100 for an hour. I'll be like, dang, that's it.
They could be taxing for that. Yeah. Definitely something to
Uh-huh.
consider in the future. But yeah, so today Nasia's going to share her journey and her experience with us into entrepreneurship as a mom. So my first question to you is, why did you decide to become a hairstylist? Like, what led you to
Well, my fresh out of high school, I actually wanted to pursue social work. I wanted to work with the youth. So I went to Metro for a year, but seeing that I'm very in tune with my emotions, I should say.
that?
It was a little sensitive for me just because, like, my sociology class, we worked with a lot of homeless families and did a lot of homeless projects. So it was a lot to take in. And, dealing with youth, it can become more intense. And, I want to help everybody. And seeing that there was a possibility that there I wouldn't be able to do that. And then it was just also looking at the long term schooling, which I've talked to a lot of social workers, and they discuss that the with a bachelor's you don't really make much money. So if I wanted to make good money, I would have to pursue like my PhD and stuff. So I was just like, I don't know if I want to be in school that long, and then I'm already like super emotional. So I love doing nails. I did designs on nails all the time. I would do my family's nails and toes and stuff. And my one of my older sisters, Dante, she's actually an artist, and she encouraged me to try out cosmetology school. And I was a little nervous just because I'm like, I don't know if I'm like doing people's hair. I don't even know how to do hair. I didn't know how to braid. I didn't know how to do locks. I didn't know how to do anything. And so then I took a leap of faith and looked at some schools and ended up loving cosmetology school. And now I'm here. Now I barely do nails now. So I do my own sometimes, but my focus is hair. But now that I'm actually pursuing more space for my shop, I do want to extend my services to offer a variety of things that I can really profit off of.
That's so dope. I'm glad to hear that you're
Yeah,
going to be expanding the services. You could definitely
thank
get into
you.
my little nubs up.
Okay.
For sure.
And I can still be a therapist to people and make them feel good, look good, and make good money. So,
Yeah. See, so you're
yes.
still accomplishing your goals. That's interesting. I feel like we've never had that conversation about you wanting to do social work because I got my bachelor's, well, it's in human services, which is pretty much the same as social work. And then I have my master's in social work. Um, and I wouldn't say I
Look at
take a
that.
PhD, but you definitely want to be like licensed, be a licensed clinical social worker if you like are interested in doing like providing therapeutic services. I personally am not interested in being a therapist. So I do more with macro level social work. So I work more with like policy and like the government. I work for the government right now. I'm a grant manager. I manage a grant that we give funding to nonprofits and other local governments throughout the state to help address homelessness. So there's like so many different sectors of social work that you could work in. But I don't know if it was worth getting my master's, to be 100% honest with you. Like,
Shoot.
was
Well,
it worth
that's an
it?
inspiration.
Like,
There's that you did it, girl. You're doing it now.
I
So
am, but the money ain't money, and like I did it too. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, that's what I was concerned about. Like,
So,
Lord, what? I talked to a
yeah,
lot of social workers from schools to um Dante. She was in college, so my older sister, and she uh was surrounded by a few friends that were in the making of becoming a social worker. They're like, it's a lot of writing, it's a lot of,
exactly.
reading, observing, all these different things, a lot of casework, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't like writing. I don't like reading like that unless it's something I want to do or write. But I was just like, y'all scaring me. I don't know about this.
No, you're doing the right thing for you, girl. Like I can
Thank
see, I
you.
can see. I'm not saying I can't. Let me not say I can't see because you could do anything you want to do, but like you're very creative. So I don't
Well,
think there's
thank
like a
you.
ton of space to be like super creative as a social work. So I think you would be kind of like give me your like word like a case manager or something like that. You know, like
Yeah, just sticking by the book. If that
yeah,
that would be a lot.
yeah,
I'm like, what? I can't help this.
yeah. Gotta share your talents with the world. So you on the right path for sure. Okay,
Yes.
cool. So my next question is, why did you choose to operate your own hairstyling business as opposed to like working in a shop or underneath someone else?
So my first leap into the beauty industry was working at Bare Minerals. I wanted to get into MAC and like the big brands, but um, it was at Cherry Creek Mall or like Park Meadows Mall, and you seeing that, I am black. I felt like that is what kind of prevented me from having that opportunity. So, Bare Minerals was the first makeup store to take me under their wing, and I got to learn, more depths into like the makeup industry. And I love Bare Minerals. I wear it to this day because it's very like natural, not the cakey stuff, which I felt like that helped um and that helped me progress in like learning to work more with natural because I am a natural girl. So I'm like, well, to really have makeup that goes well with skin and stuff, that was a big thing to me. And then I branched out from there. I got an opportunity at Ulta Salon, and I was originally going to be working full time, but once I got on board, they decided to give me less hours and switch me to part time because the salon was a little slow. So that encouraged me. I was getting paid 300 every 2 weeks. I think the pay was like $9 an hour, if that. So and then my manager discussed like, oh, well, work with the tips, but I also dealt with racism at the Ulta that I was at. There would be people that didn't want to get their hair done by me once they seen that I was the one doing their hair. Sometimes they wouldn't tip, they wouldn't speak to me. So I just kind of felt uncomfortable there. And I actually had a friend who, I was actually working from home outside of Ulta just because I was living on my own and I needed to pay a $1,400 rent. So I was like, this 300 isn't gonna work. So I was doing hair at home, and I really do thank the clients that were coming to me during those times because my work was not the best. And so I had a friend who knew a lady that worked in a shop that did her locks. And I was just nervous because I have done internships with different salons, and it nothing was just suiting me at the time. So I was just like, I don't know. And the lady that was doing her locks, the loctician, her name is London. She told me to come work and wash heads for her for a day, and that she would pay me. And I'm like, I don't know, because like the internships that I was doing, they weren't paying me. And then if they did say they were going to pay me, I'll get like $10 or $20 a day for like washing hair or doing the bare, like the small simple things. So I'm just like, this isn't, I don't know. And
Yeah.
so I went and worked for her for a day, and she paid me really well because she was booked and busy. So I was washing heads back to back. um she paid me 20 per head, so that was beautiful. I'm like, I mean, if you're gonna be paying like this, then I might just have to come over here. But I was still nervous because Ulta was giving me that security of a pay stub, and I thought about taxes and everything. I just didn't want to leave Ulta and then take this opportunity, and it fell.
Mhm.
So I at the end of that day there, because there was a barber shop at the end of the day, and the crop shop. Sorry, I had to put that in there. But they they all talk to me, and they're like, they see my work, and they're like, you can make some really good money in here. We need a braider, we need someone who's a cosmetologist, because we're all barbers. She only does locks. And they're like, if you really want to make good money, you're gonna leave your job tomorrow. And I'm like, leave it tomorrow? Like,
They
so
said, forget that two
I
week
was
notice.
okay. I was like, and I was thinking about that. And then I'm like, can you do like an effective immediately notice? And I talked to my sister. She's like, I mean, if you don't want to go back, it's better to give a notice than not showing up at all, because
Mm.
just in case you do need to find another job. So I was
Right.
like, okay. And I prayed about it that night. And the next morning, when I had to get up for work, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go quit today. And so I took a letter to them, and they were caught off guard. They're like, we just need to sit down and discuss. I'm just like, there's nothing
Oh,
more to
got it.
discuss. And
Right.
so that was my leap into becoming self employed. And I was in the barber shop for 2.5 years, I think almost 3 years. And I loved it. It was just the environment was a little hood. So um, I knew that eventually that inspired me that I wanted my own shop. And so I'm like, okay, I can have something like this. And I loved the owner of the shop. He was so amazing. They took me under their wing. My booth rent was super cheap. And they really worked with me. They encouraged me. They brought me clientele, and so that really gave me the support that I needed to see and experience. And then after that, a girl that I went to cosmetology school with, she was getting a salon suite. And I always thought about a salon suite, but I didn't know how they worked. So I'm like, okay. And she's like, yeah, I want to open it. We can have this whole shop starting off. And it was a lot of like, everything ain't that glitters ain't gold, because you know how she presented it. She didn't know how I worked, that I worked as much as I did. And so when I came in the shop, bless you.
Thank you.
But when I came in the shop, she started pocket watching me, and I went half on everything we needed, from products to any accessories to any wall decor. And it started to become almost envious. And so she came to me and was like, well, you need to start giving me your money that you make and we can put it in an account. And I'm like, girl, I'm not giving you no money and there's no paperwork,
Right.
and my name isn't on there, So we came to end that whole situation. It was hurtful because I didn't know what to do because I was like, well, then am I gonna have to go back to the crop shop? And she took everything that I invested in there. So I literally had like, of course, my stuff that I brought in there, that's all I took out. But everything, I spent about $1,000 in there and everything was gone and I was broken and I'm like, well, what am I gonna do? And right next to her room across the hall, there was an open room. And I talked to the owner. I'm like, well, how much are these rooms? And that's when I found out like she was lying to me about like what I was paying. I was paying more for the salon suite than she was. So I'm like, if it's just $200 a week, I could do that. I have really good clientele and he gave me the opportunity to take over that room and I redecorated and just continued to grow in that, and that's what really was like the inspiration within myself to how far can I go in this, because this is the real start of self-employment. So then that's when I pursued my LLC and just really started making bigger investments. And then I was there for 2 years and decided to get a bigger room. So that's where I'm at now, is the My Salon Suites. But even in that room, I thought I was going to be able to do more, but I was limited being a mother, knowing that I had to bring my daughter to work sometimes, whether she was sick or out of school. And so then now that encouraged me to, or that actually God blessed me with a bigger space now. So now I feel like this is the start of really building my shop that I want to build. So, and just realizing that it's gonna take a team and not just myself, because of course I would love to do it by myself, and I have had history of trying to take people under my wing, or the experience with the first situation that didn't work out so well. But when you pray about stuff, God work it out. And now I'm actually taking another risk on going into business with my cousin Paisha. So I'm excited. We match energy a lot, and we're still able to have our own space. So yes, this is the start of something greater.
That's so dope. Like, I feel like that's a great testimony for you to be able to share.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. And like, even though it didn't work out with all of those other individuals, like they were like stepping stones for you to get to where you are.
To know what not to
Yeah.
do.
To know what not to do. And then they just helped you get the knowledge that you need to be where you're at today. So even though it didn't work out, like they serve everybody, sometimes people are in your life for a season and a reason. So you got what you got from them, and now you're steady progressing and moving on. Like that's a blessing for sure. And I
Yeah.
was just thinking like about how you quit. Like I admire that. That's very courageous, because they tell us like you're supposed to give a 2 weeks notice. But the reality is like if they gotta let us go, they ain't giving us no 2 week notice. So they like, bye, today's your last. So
Literally,
you gotta do
literally.
what's best for you at the end of the day. Like so
Girl, I was ready. I'm like, I'm tired of these $300 checks. Like, and then
right.
having to work outside of that too. Who knows what time? I was really doing it and really
Yeah,
making
just
effort. And then, my family, like, I didn't mention that, but like, my sister was the main one who encouraged me going to cosmetology school. Everybody was like, you're not going to finish college. You need to finish college. So taking that leap of faith and risk. And then also when I was going into the crop shop, my family's like, you need to do this, you need to do that. And that's where trusting in God really comes in, because I trusted God. I'm like, if it wasn't for me, God would block it. But I quit and I'm here. So,
Mhm. Oh, well, shout out to Dante for being an amazing big sister. That's so dope.
Yes,
Yeah. And for
yes.
you, for like being a risk taker, because I feel like that's when we learn the most. Like by taking risks, well, you can't like expect to grow if you don't ever take these risks
Yeah.
or challenges in life. And like when your back is against the wall, you got to hurry up and figure some stuff out. Like that's when you really grow and you really advance because you have no choice
It's
but to like
all or
go
nothing.
forward almost. Yeah, it's all or nothing.
Yeah.
Big
You gotta
kudos.
love yourself. You
Mhm.
gotta want more for yourself. And if it don't scare you, it ain't big enough,
Yeah.
So,
Nothing
yeah.
in life that's worth anything is just easy. You gotta work
Girl,
hard.
if it was easy, we would just be la di da di da.
Right. And if it was easy, everybody would do it.
Yes.
So what do you think has been the hardest part about being like an entrepreneur and a mom?
Honestly, I only have one child, so I ended up getting pregnant right before the pandemic hit. And so once I did get pregnant, it was nerve-wracking, just because we never been through something like that. And I'm like, oh, this pregnancy is gonna be cool. I get to work, like all these other stuff. But it was also my first adjustment with the morning sicknesses.
That boost
That
piece.
being self-employed, I still have to pay that booth rent. I still have bills to pay. And I really had to push myself through those moments. Of course, if I needed to sit down, I'll sit down. But I worked up until 2 weeks before delivery. And my pregnancy was a lot already. And so that was just like the reef of it. But once I had her, I planned on taking 6 weeks. But it was Thanksgiving, it was coming up and people needed their hair done. And I was also nervous to lose clients. So I'm like, I got to get this together in 4 weeks. Like, how am I going to do this? And so, you know, I remember seeing like growing up in beauty shops, or if you walk into an African shop, they got their babies on them. And so I'm like, I'm gonna have to figure out how to wrap my baby on me and be doing some hair.
Right.
Like, because I
Multitask.
didn't have the girl, yeah, because I didn't have the full support. Like, back in the day, you got cousins, aunties, uncles, mama, daddy, grandparents to watch their kids, and everybody works now in today's world.
Mhm.
So I didn't have that opportunity to just drop my baby off. And then I was also breastfeeding. So um
That's a lot
I
that you were doing, girl. Kudos to
girl
you. You was getting it.
girl
You were killing it. Because that morning sickness alone, having to stand on your feet and doing that morning sickness will take you out. It's like,
girl
I remember going through that and feeling like I'm never getting pregnant again. Never.
girl that
Like,
everything. Girl, I didn't had a whole surgery during my pregnancy and
oh my
still had to come
goodness.
back to work. So it was crazy.
You're strong, girl. Very strong.
Thank you, thank you. That showed me my strength, because in the beginning, when I did start bringing her back to work, it started off slow. I'm like, okay, I'll take maybe 3, 4 heads a week or something, enough to get like by.
Mhm.
But even with that, it was intense. It's my first time being a mommy. Babies cry, and I'm like, I'm doing everything. She's changed. I fed her, like,
What's going on?
yes. And then I had new clients coming in, and they're like,
You gotta
like,
be,
I'm
but
like,
no, people should understand. I mean, if you're
yes, but people weren't. That's the thing. A lot of
no,
my clients understood, but like the new people and stuff, they're like, I know they was thinking like, this is ghetto, like, and I'm
hey,
like,
mama gotta get it. That's what I would have.
yes, I'm a new mommy. It was taking me longer sometimes because I would have to stop and do certain things. And I would have little panic attacks because she wouldn't stop crying sometimes. And I think it was also her just adjusting to being at work with me and being out the womb and stuff. So that was the most challenging, but as over time I've learned to adjust that, I don't have that help like that. I can't, depend on my family as much as I when of course if I ever really need. Now that she's older and can maintain, she's good, but during those times I really had to boss up and do it. I'm like, I laid down and had this baby, so I gotta figure it out as a mom. And she actually is my strength in every step because it showed me how much strength I have. It really focused me because I was spending money, blowing it, living my best prior to, but she really calmed me down a lot and just she made me dream a lot more often of where I really wanted to be and what type of mother I wanted to be to her. So, I want to show her like you can have all of this, and that's where it's all proceeding to.
Oh, that's so cool. Kids can definitely like babies like help you redirect your life, you know? Like it's like they give you a super strength and like I don't know, you can't
Girl, you
walk,
had no
you know?
choice.
You like I
I mean,
gotta keep it together for my baby, you know? So I think
I
they do give
mean,
you like that extra inspiration, which is dope. I'm happy you have that. And you're doing so good
thank you.
now.
We mommies out here, girl, doing it. You be working with your baby too, girl.
Yes, I do daily. Oh my God, I be stressed out sometimes, but
Girl, it do. It's a lot. It ain't easy,
it's
okay?
not for the weak, you know? Like, and I think some people are like, oh, well, you work from home, but I still have to work. Like, if she's 2 years old, she's not chilling. So,
They want to be tended to and everything. So,
yes,
shoot,
it's,
imagine the shop girl. She be all at the sink playing with the water, or don't let me be doing the colors. She's trying. I'm like, no, just
I
sit
know you
down,
like every
please.
5 minutes, don't touch that, don't do that. That's
Yes,
all day long. Like, oh my goodness. So, you know, it's
yes,
a blessing too to just be able to be around them as often as we
yes,
are and be there for just teachers. That's dope. Like, you're able to expose her to your whole career too. She's going to always remember that. And she's gonna
yeah.
respect you so much and like just admire you. Like, hey, my mom was really out here making it happen for us. Like
I'm
she's been,
like, she didn't even realize right now.
yeah,
Like,
but she's going to like. So that's
yes.
cool. That's dope. You're a huge inspiration for her. So that's cool. So
Thank
many
you,
other
thank you. Shoot, she's an inspiration to me. I'm like, I gotta be better.
people. Yeah, you are, and you just gonna continue to keep going up, 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 and up.
Yeah, we got this, girl. We out here. We're
We,
doing amazing. So,
we are.
yeah.
So, what do you think has been like the most rewarding part of being an entrepreneur for you?
Honestly, making my own schedule. I love being able to make my own schedule.
What's
Even though I do choose to work, like I love what I do, so like work doesn't always feel like work. Some days I do have long days, but I love that I have free time to where if I do want to take the time off, I can. I don't gotta ask nobody. And then also I love being able to see how much income I can make, on my own without having to be under someone's jurisdictions or, pay and all of that. And just really like I love that I can also like pick and choose my clients now. Before I was just taking anybody and everybody. But now I can choose who sits in my chair. I can choose, a lot of times, like I can choose the atmosphere of, where I'm at. Cause some places you may love what you do, but the atmosphere just isn't there. Just be able to have that creativity in my own space and see how, having being able to take that risk to really like do for me. Just expand in every way that I can and see how far I can go in it. And yeah.
Nice, nice. I'm sure that's very rewarding. The flexibility is money, honestly. You know, being able to build your own schedule around other things you might have going on in your life, like that's amazing. Such a blessing. So keep doing
Yeah.
your thing, girl. Do you have any advice out there for any other mamianas who are considering taking the entrepreneur route or any other like stylists who are maybe might be pregnant, might be expecting to have a baby? Any advice?
Honestly, it's all about believing in yourself. Um, Even when some people don't, and it sometimes is the closest people who may not believe in you, who may not support you, but your support comes from a lot of the time outside of your circles. And that's where my support, that's how I met you, you know? So just staying focused on the goal, like what do you really want to do? And you have to have a plan, like at least an idea of a few things of, okay, if I do this, how is it going to go? And sometimes you don't know how it's going to go, but that's where that risk taking comes on. And if that seed is planted within you, it's not planted for no reason, you know, but you have to really want to aspire to water that and see where it takes you. And it takes a small step at a time. It took me, you know, mind. I never thought I would even be here. It took me just embracing my creativity of just doing nail art, and people come and get they design the stuff, and I thought I wanted to be a nail tech, and now just being able to have that opportunity to be a full cosmetologist, now I can do whatever, and I love what I do. And if you love something, water it. And if you don't know what to do, I don't know if all who believes in God, the universe, whatever you believe in, whether it's believing in yourself or whatever you need to do to believe that it's already done. And it's
Amen.
not about getting there, it's about embracing the journey through the process, not knowing what's on the other side of the door, not knowing what's going to hit you, what's going to come, what may even try to break you, but you really do have to stay focused on what you want out of life. And I promise you, it's beautiful, you know, and you're going to have your rainy days, but push. Keep moving forward. See who you can become. Challenge yourself. If it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Those are some great words of inspiration. Thanks for sharing.
Thank
I know you
you.
were nervous,
Thank
but you
you.
did such a good job.
Thank you, girl. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, this was a
I'm
good
like, it's just me and you talking. It's just,
yeah, just a normal combo, you know? This was a good conversation, though.
yes.
Um, thanks for all of my followers who continue to tap in and check out these episodes. Be sure to follow me on Instagram if you're not already at mommyana.podcast. And as I always say, I'm always looking for people to come on as guests. You can slide in my DMs on IG and TikTok as well, or you can reach me at Gmail at mommyana.podcast@gmail.com. Shout out to my brother for this fire beat and for the editing of my episodes. He does such an amazing job. You can also find him on Instagram at dweatherlybeats. So check him out too. And Nasia, if girls want to come get their hair hooked up, give them the info.
Hey, Nature's Touch of Beauty. New location coming up. But you can find me on Instagram at Nature's Touch of Beauty. And all my work is on there, and my booking link is on there as well. So I hope to gain some new clientele and speak life into you guys, and you guys speak life into me.
Yes, tap
So,
in.
yeah.
Y'all see these locks. Tap in, okay?
Yes,
And like she said,
yes.
she can refuse service to whoever she wants. So don't come
Okay, don't be coming over here with no
Hey,
negative low vibrations.
yes,
Okay.
lights only, okay?
Okay.
All right. Well, it's been a good recording, and I hope you have a
Yes.
great rest of your weekend, girl.
You as well. Thank you so much. This was amazing. I
Yeah,
loved it.
thank you for joining it. Talk to you later. Bye, world.
Yes.
Be Weatherly, go kill it.